and just make sure you count me.
All right, we're gonna go back.
La-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. The cuffs are off, man. Get right. Too many left in these leagues, but I ain't gonna leave. I'ma get right. Get right. Down to the bottom and scratch it for all the.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up, everybody? It's Marcus Grant.
This is AJ Dillon of the Green Bay Packers.
I gotta give a shout out to y'all at Get Right Fantasy.
If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Our league. Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Best of luck with your podcast. Appreciate the support.
And you're tuned in to watch my boys at Get Right Fantasy Network. Get you right. Enjoy the show.
But I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, go roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down, cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right, cause I roll my sleeves up.
What up? What up? What up, world? This is Get Right Fantasy Network. We're back again here. It's Monday night, August 19th. That means we only got 17 more days till NFL kickoff. So we're here to get it started. We're about to do another rundown of Friday night mocks. So what's going on, Ian? How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. It's Monday. We had that kind of dress rehearsal with preseason this weekend. Got to see a lot of starters. A behind the back pass by Patrick Mahomes. Like, we're seeing it all, man. I'm so juiced. 17 days away, you said? That's it? 17 days, and we have an actual NFL kickoff. Fantasy points going in lineups.
Yeah.
We're like deep in draft season. I had 3 drafts going on. I did an auction draft on Sunday. In the middle of our Get Right Guillotine League draft right now. Just so much going on, man. I'm so excited. This is like, yeah, there you go. Shout out to Classic Mike, man. Throwing the logo together. Like, I'm so stoked, bro, for like football. Like, all this prep we've been doing with you guys here night after night since April is all going to pay off here in these next 2 weeks. Like, all this draft prep, everything we're going to talk about tonight is here to help you over these next 2 weeks. So, or maybe it's helped you already if you've already drafted. So, man, I'm so excited. Started to steal the mic, man, but like, I'm so juiced and ready to go for this episode, man.
That's what we want to hear, because hey, we are having some starters play. You know, the preseason's getting ready. Next week, you know, we're going to actually see more starters be on the field. Everybody get a warm up, maybe a quarter, maybe half of the game, and we should get a good feel for everybody. You know, I love what you mentioned there about Mahomes and the backward behind the back pass, because I got a lot of stock in Mahomes and Kelsey this year. I think he's going to be back better than ever. So, without further ado, though, there's a lot of injuries that have been happening as well. But you know, we got to get into this mock draft. There's a lot of guys on here already. We got 614 wants to know how to join the draft. So you definitely want to join our sleeper channel. That link is down below, and when you do join the sleeper channel, you will see that we have a lobby, a pinned lobby for all the mock drafts. But you could also DM Anthony here at Rasta. That's also in the notes down below, so you can reach out to him. So I mean, we're in the final week now. This is it. After this week, that'll be the final.
Yeah, it's waiting list only. These mocks are full. There's only 3 more spots to get into this mock draft finale. That's it. Like that's it. We're doing it, and then the Friday after that, it's the finale already on the 30th, man. So it's time. We're here, man. Like, we're playing football soon.
And in that finale, these teams that do these guys that do draft that one does get played out. It's a season-long league that, you know, obviously like a best ball, you don't have to, you know, manage it. You don't have to make trades. You don't have to do sit starts. You just set it, forget it, and, you know, may the best person win.
May the best drafter win.
Yes, exactly. May the best drafter win. And they get $50 cash for the prize there. So,
and more importantly, that's just kind of for your time and effort for showing up on the mocks. Appreciate you guys checking out the streams and stuff like that. So just a little prize there. Hopefully, as we get bigger, maybe that could increase a little bit. But more importantly, you're going to get the title of the mock draft Tournament of Champions champion. Like double champion in your name. just like our boy Rafi and FFT AJ, and literally the guy who won the first one. His nickname now is not Lou Camp, but Lou Champ. So
Lou Champ.
literally, that's what things can do if you win this tournament. So good luck to everybody, man. We're going to be announcing the top 3 that advanced here tonight. That's what we're doing. But we will break down the top 6 teams. They may or may not be on Frank and I's, top 6. But we will let you guys know kind of where we had them ranked, what we liked, what we didn't like, just to give you some insight on maybe things to look at as you're drafting your teams here in these next couple weeks, man. I'm still soaked, man. You just cut me off whenever, bro. Like I'm ready to go, man.
I just think that you
keep us on track, Frank.
I thought it was funny though about that. Yeah. So what right now for the new people here that's on here watching, I just want to let you know what our new season schedule is right now. So Monday nights, Anthony and I will be going over at 9 p.m. recaps and waiver wires on Monday nights. On Tuesdays, Tycoon's in here at 7 p.m. with the fantasy boardroom. Wednesdays, Anthony and I are back doing roster management and buy, sell, trade targets. Thursday, Phil's in here at 4 p.m. Prior to the Thursday night football for the extra point. So he'll be early on Thursday. Then we got the Friday shows with Mike and Kendall and Ant and Phil from 6 and 8 p.m. for different time slots, or just that much content that's going on. You'll be basically watching this 4 hours straight almost.
Yeah. We're just splitting it into 2 different. Those guys are going to do an East Coast show, do live Q&A, break down about half the games, and then you can come back here for you West Coast folks, get your live Q&A in, and then of course our breakdowns of the games. But then you can go back and just watch the previous one, or vice versa, watch the next one in the show. But we want to be able to have anywhere from 2 to 4 hours to be there available for you guys live on Fridays to get your start sit in. So we're going to make ourselves available for you like that. So we hope we can just continue to answer more questions, man. That's not have classic Mike and Kindle up until like 4 a.m. on Fridays. So
exactly. And now we also have Cody McGoats, formerly of the Check Down podcast. Now he's going to be hosting a new show called The Sweet Life Football, coming soon, as you can see on the screen here. As Anthony and I mentioned, we recently started a new guillotine league here. I'm not sure if we're going to do a listeners league or not. We were debating that here offline.
We're working on it.
We'll see what's going on with that.
There's one that's going to happen. It just depends on how many people we get, signed up and interested for it when we're going to do it. But ideally, we're going to do that drawing. From what it looks like here, that drawing should be on Friday. So if you guys are interested, make sure you're like and subscribed. If you want to get it into the drawing for the listener league, send me a screenshot. Let me know that you're subscribed to the Extra Point, to the Fantasy Boardroom, and to our boy Kendall over at the Fantasy Football Tavern. Let me know you're subscribed to all 3, and of course our channel, and I'll get you an invite into.
There we go. All you got to do is
the league,
like and subscribe.
Well, the drawing for the league. Yeah, support the channel.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And then Sundays we got Mike, a very important one at 8 a.m. He's got the active, inactive, live Q&A, sit-start advice, and sometimes even daily fantasy stuff. So look him up. He's right. He does his show right up to kickoff. And right now we're just in the tournament mocks. We're doing our regular schedule of the Get Right mock draft tournament. So the finalists are going to be announced right now. We're going to start going into these people and see who's going on, because this is what we're about.
Showing up the graphics tonight. Frank's on it. Let's go. A lot of work. Classic.
Left apparently. So get it while you can. People want to get in there.
Hey, shout out to one of the finalists just coming out here checking in on the competition. Look he's getting some scouting duties in tonight, because he knows these 3 guys are going to be drafting against him on August 30th. So shout out to Awesome Eckler, who made it, I think, 2 weeks, last Friday or 2 Fridays ago. 2 Fridays. Somewhere in there, man. It's been all a blur.
So yeah, he got it. It's easy to sit back, throw the arms back, kick back, and wait for.
I don't know, man. I'm itching, dude. I'm like, I gotta get in a mock. I've been getting invited to mocks. I'm like, guys.
Yeah, let's do it, right?
I gotta get in there. So there he goes. He says we call that the Holy Trinity.
Holy content and Trinity. Nice.
There it is. All right. So yeah, appreciate it. If you guys got anything in the chat, man, let us know. Otherwise, we're gonna get into the show. enough of all the promos. We're 10 minutes in. We're not even big enough for all that now. But again, we appreciate like and subscribe if you guys are checking us out now.
Yeah.
So let's get to the football. What you guys came for.
Here we go.
Right on cue. Frank brings up the draft. So here we go. Do you want to go ahead and
first?
Yeah, go ahead. We're gonna start with the sixth place here.
Sixth place, last place runner up. It's Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake,
man. And I like that guy. I like the character that he had. It's a good name. Good name. I need to come up with some new team names, by the way. Send them in. Give me a good team name. Anyway, so he starts off with Jonathan Taylor. Goes Drake London, Devontae Smith, Travis Kelce, Terry McLaurin, and Patrick Mahomes. So he gets the KC stack there, which I really liked. Tony Pollard is just RB2. Then he goes with Keon Coleman, Aiden Mitchell, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, Tyler Algier, and then he finishes it off with Braylon Allen. Getting a flyer onto the young guy. It's pretty decent construction team. I like the stack that he gets. I'm sorry, I just go roll with it on this one.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
He goes like a hero RB build here with JT at the top. Doesn't wait till the 7th to get Tony Pollard after he's filled in, the onesie twosie positions in the QB and tight end, and gets 3 QBs. So it's a pretty nice build. I like some of the players that he's got some upside with these guys, and Mitchell, Coleman, and things like that with these rookies. Let's see if Eckler can bounce back for this year. Mike Williams is, I'm like, man, with that guy, it's kind of like the dead pick for me as far as I'm concerned. But I do like the upside of Algier this year. And again, here that his last final pick is really a flyer with Allen. He's got to throw somebody over there at the Jets. So let's see if somebody else could pop up. He ended up in our third run-up position. How does that work out? First or third? It's third, right?
He's one of the alternates. He's top 6. One of the alternates. Should one of the top 3 not be able to get in there, he would get an invite if he is available on Friday. Otherwise, he can try again. Spots open up here this week. So for my guy Jake the Snake here, I had him actually as my third place team. There was some guys on here that I, maybe personally, maybe a little more questionable on. But what I loved was the actual build and some of the value he got here. Getting Kelce, I don't want to say early, but kind of about where he goes. Then to come back and wait on Mahomes and risk it to go around this turn. A lot of people would have just taken him right there.
Yeah.
To sneak in another wide receiver right there. And again, I'm not the greatest McLaurin fan. Like I probably would have preferred Kirk there. And again, maybe Jaden Reed, Christian Watson. I mean, I'm not letting those guys go up that high. So I can see McLaurin obviously with Jaden Daniels named the starter today, which is great as well too. So we pretty sure that's what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But I just really love the build here. In a 3 wide receiver league like this, to have some lotto tickets here in Coleman and AD Mitchell. Those are 2 of my favorite rookies here this year, just with their potential. Speed, offense, quarterbacks that they're attached to, opportunity, just everything checks every box in a player that I'm looking for. And then again, getting these late running backs, I think Algier is a great handcuff. Got a nice RB2 and Pollard. I'm more Spears guy, but again, it's just the idea, right? Like to me, this is just basically a perfect build. Didn't take a second quarterback, didn't take a second tight end. When he spent that much up on those guys, you'll just figure it out later. So for me, top 3, had it had some different tweaks, it could have been higher. If it would have had maybe some of the players I would have taken there, but as far as the build, literally would give that an A+. So good job.
Yeah. I'm right.
Jake knows what he's doing, man. Jake knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he knows. Watch out.
These guys are all, these are the top 3 from all 4 mocks last year. Like this is last week. This is a sharp room right here. So this was a good room.
Difficult to decide when I was looking at it, who I pick where. It wasn't the first couple weeks was like, okay, yeah, that's an easy, like I don't even have to look at that guy again. Now it's like,
right.
Okay, let's break down to even the player at this point. It's not even just so much the builds. They have very good builds most of the time. So it's like, and it's also obviously position dependent as well as what they're taking as well when they get there. Ravenshow's on here, he's a Rasta the champ. What's good, fellas?
What's good? How's it going, Ravens? New to the community, man. Appreciate him being out here.
Yeah.
We got Joe out here. What's up, Joe?
Up?
Got you. That's got you 420. He's in even one of the mocks here tonight in our qualifier. Haven't checked it out yet, so we'll see how he did. He was caught off. He was caught off guard that it was a super flex because you know how we alternate.
Oh,
so
yes.
he just joined us and got in from a live stream last week. Went all one QB, kind of got all introduced to the tournament. It's all taking it in, and then boom, all of a sudden on Monday, boom, switch it up on him. Now you're doing super flex. We tell you we're going to keep you on your toes. So when it comes time to your draft, like you're just going to be able to do this in your sleep, bro. So wait till you go through a whole off season with us, not just like the second week in August until the start, man. So can't wait to have you for a full off season next year, you guys that are new. And of course, again, we appreciate you all, you new guys. Make sure you're hitting that like and subscribe button for us. So without any further ado, man, let's get to number 5. Number 5 here, I'll go ahead and read it off, I guess, since you kind of did this one, but I will throw it to you so we can get our little volley going. So number 5 here, man, another alternate, nice draft, down in a hole. So Mr. Down in the Hole, drafting from the 3 spot here, going with a double hero RB build right out of the gate. So interesting that it, still made top 6. So he goes Breece Hall, Devon Achane, DK Metcalf, T. Higgins, Trey McBride. Chris Godwin is his wide receiver 3. Gets the stack with Kyler Murray. Again, with that wide receiver in between, just like Jake did. Then he goes Jameson Williams, Romeo Dobbs, Zeke, Dowdle, Gabe Davis, and Caleb Williams. You're going to have to take over.
No way. So we got Gabe Davis after that. Where we got? And Caleb Williams is last pick here. So he does go, like Anthony said, double hero RB. I like the guy. This is 2 guys basically did this. Dano 5 there at the end also basically is a double hero RB type of build. I didn't know if I was going to like it, but honestly, things being the way they are, I'm not mad at it. I like DK, I like T. Higgins where he's got him. Trey McBride in the 5th. I thought he got. Some people think he's going to be the number 1 tight end this year. So waiting for him to get him in the 4th tight end off the board is not a bad deal. Waiting to get Kyler Murray, I like that as well. Does stack up all those wide receivers right there with Metcalf, Higgins, Godwin, JMO, and Dobbs. All those 2 guys with some good upside this year. Tied to good offenses, and then you get finally get dropped back down to get Zeke and Rico Dowdle, which is really just one running back. That's the one downside I didn't like that about this is you're getting one starter. Like I guess
that's all he really needs, though.
Yeah.
At least he targeted a high-powered offense, so he's going to kind of just and then have that spot to play with depending on what happens. So
yeah,
I like it. In redraft, you can do stuff like this. Best ball, you don't want to do that, obviously. But to me, this is a nice redraft. I think I'm okay. I may have to switch it over to you here again. Already told you I didn't bring my water in here today, so I'm trying to self-recover here. But so I got too excited in the beginning part of the show. Started choking myself up. But for me, like again, I'm the guy who's been preaching 3 wide receiver. I want 2 wide receivers, 1 running back in my first 3 rounds. I don't care which order you do it, but I feel like I need to come out of a draft that way, or else I don't feel comfortable. Down in the hole, put together one of the best 2 RB starting teams that I've personally seen, at least for me, that I would feel comfortable with. To get 5 wide receivers that I'm actually okay with, plus getting an elite quarterback, plus stacking it with an elite tight end, like he was my second favorite team.
Yeah.
So like this was like, to me, I don't know how he did it, but like again, I think I value DK maybe a little more higher than the market, or maybe even a little more than that. Higgins I think is a fine number 2. Godwin I think is going to have a good year back in the slot. Nice number 3 to have a good depth piece, and like JMO, who I've been big on, that I think can pop. You don't need him maybe right in the beginning. I still probably would start Dobbs week 1, but I'm comfortable with him. He's going to be on the field. Good quarterback, good offense, good offensive coordinator coach. And then, like you said, he doesn't really need this running back situation. He has time to figure that out with Hall and H in there. And then, takes a flyer on Gabe Davis and then gets a great backup quarterback in Caleb Williams. So again, kind of lotto ticket there as well too. So I mean, I just personally really like the build, the players involved, how he executed it. Again, my only thing I could say bad about it is like doubling up there, but I could still see and defend it somewhat. So I appreciate it down in the hole. I personally wish you got higher. Unfortunately, it was only 5 here, and this just goes to show you when I'm telling you guys, who advances and stuff like that. Like, hey, sometimes I personally don't believe with it. If it was up to me down in the hole, you would be in my top 3. You would be advancing if it was just up to me, but it's not. So blame these other guys, man. Just
basically what he's trying to say is you wouldn't be in the hole.
You wouldn't be in the hole if it wasn't for these other guys. Good stuff. I like it. So there we go.
Snails reference, or he's just an army guy.
You go.
I just want to check in on that. So moving on here, we got our last guy who's on the show tonight. He drafted with them. He's our first alternate, and that's Raven Show Yo.
There you go, Raven Show. He was saying what's up earlier.
What's up?
So hopefully he's still watching here.
Oh, sure.
So yeah, man, 4th place team. So not a bad team. Unfortunately, I did have to tell him already because the spot did open up, and he was on the wait list for his spot tonight, and one of the spots opened. So he was one of the ones I sent it to, and so I kind of had to break the news and say, "Oh, unfortunately, man, you like barely missed it, but it wasn't bad considering it was like his second mock in the Get Right community."
Right.
So his very first mock he did, he advances to the semifinal, and then places 4th right there on the semifinal, almost advanced in his first 2 mocks. So I'm sure a lot of people, man, who've been here for 4 years trying to make this finale, don't feel bad for you. They might want you to pay your dues like they have. But yeah, man, you came to the right place because we like the builds you're going. He said, yeah, of course he's here. See, and that's why we love him, man. He's here supporting the channel in the chat. And yeah, so close, man. So he already knew, and he was still out here tonight supporting the channel. So that's what we're looking for, man. So let's go through his team. Go ahead, you can read it off, and I'll give you my take on it.
Yeah, so we're running down here. Again, as Anthony mentioned, he's coming over here in the 6th spot, taking Jamar Chase, Deebo Samuel, Josh Jacobs, Mark Andrews, and Lamar Jackson. He gets a nice little stack in those 2 guys. Then we go with Keenan Allen over Chicago, Jalen Warren, Hollywood Brown there in KC, who is a little bit injured right now, banged up, but being that he's your 4th wide receiver, it's all right. I like Zach Moss as well. We're going to have to look at those guys. And then we also got Tyler Lockett, Trey Benson, Josh Downs, another guy's a little banged up, but he's got to get upside, and Ricky Pearsall, another guy's a little banged up, but he should be back. So he's taking some nice flyers on some guys at the end. Nice build on the team. Would you grade him at?
Yeah, so man, you're gonna really put me on the spot like this? You're just gonna throw me a lob like that?
Yeah.
Hey, my guy Ravens. I know, man. My guy Ravens. I'm sorry, bro, and I'll look you in the eyes. You didn't make my top 6, my guy. So you could say I'm probably the reason why. Just like in a complete flip of the last vote, where Down in the Hole was my 2nd place team and it got him 4th. I cost you 3rd. Because I didn't even have you on my top 6, my guy. And I apologize, but let me tell you why. So, great start. Chase, Deebo, I'm fine with that, right? Josh Jacobs, I'm even okay with that. Maybe I probably would have went Henry and a half PPR in this one. I personally probably would have maybe even waited a little bit to get maybe like a Ken Walker. He's one of my kind of later half and non-PPR type targets that I think would, be a good guy in volume, and the way they're talking him up and possibly getting some work in the passing game this year. So again, we're splitting hairs. Josh Jacobs, okay pick there. Love the value in the Andrews Jackson stack. A lot of people usually get it out of the 3 spot. You can't usually wait that long to get both guys like that. At least in best ball, they're not going to give you that stack. So the fact that he got it here from the 6th spot was fantastic. And then this is where it just kind of took a turn for me. So Keenan Allen, I would have went Reed or Watson or Godwin. Like all 3 of those guys I went after, I would have preferred. There. Then we come back around. Jalen Warren, I don't mind, but I think he was actually hurt when this pick happened because he was hurt from the last preseason games, right? Like he didn't get hurt just this last weekend.
Yeah,
So he'd already been hurt. So to see him go this early with that hamstring with week 1 in doubt, I'm not taking that risk at my RB2 position right there. There's still someone like Odunze who flashed in preseason, with his upside attached to that quarterback. Again, Addison, Coleman, JSN, like I'm high on all 4 of those guys basically right there. So I would have preferred that wide receiver in this spot, even in a half PPR. And then even still, come back around, a Chase Brown, instead of a Hollywood Brown. Stick with the Brown family, just a different position, different first name, and we would have been good. And then, not the biggest Zach Moss fan. Again, I'm more the Chase Brown guy.
He's a Chase Brown,
and again, you have already had him the round before, so you wouldn't have to worry about Moss. And then if you still wanted to go RB heavy, but more importantly, had you taken that wide receiver after Allen, or 2 wide receivers there, Allen, Warren should have been wide receivers. You get Chase Brown here, and that allows you to go with another wide receiver here instead of a running back, and opens you up to someone like Mitchell, or again gives you another opportunity to get another running back. For me, Jerome Ford, Brian Robinson, I would have loved there in that spot. So again, give me Reed and like Odunze, along with Chase Brown and Jerome Ford. Like those 4 picks right there, like that would have been sweet. Like you probably would have been in my top 3 had you just switch those 4 picks there. Lockett, I'm okay with. Benson, Flyer, Downs, I'm not big on. And the more this Ayuk situation looks like he's staying there, I don't think Ricky's going to do anything in redraft. So kind of just, again, lost me after that Jackson pick. So that's why, as much as I wanted, based on the top half of the draft, or not even half, like top quarter of the draft, to make it into my top 6, that's why just for me personally, it didn't make my top 6. But these other guys liked it. So
Raven showed you ahead. Now that he's done tearing you down, let me
go ahead.
Other people did like your team, and I did have you ranked myself personally as well. I just had you at the middle of the pack. So I didn't say that that it was too hot of a team, but you did get scored by me and several others to get you up there.
You had him right there. You had him at 4th, right? Like you had him 4th. Literally. You called it. You nailed it.
Yeah. I agree with Anthony. I was just not a fan of taking running backs with bad hammies, because I think that's going to probably linger on for Jalen Warren's season. Those soft tissue injuries, whatever, just hammies just make me nervous in general. Same thing with Brown here. Starting off with some guys with injuries. I don't mind Moss as much. I know Anthony's higher on Brown, but I think that this guy has a job to lose. And if anything, they're just going to get a 50-50 share anyway. So I don't think you're going to win or lose on that. I do agree with Anthony on some of maybe taking some of these other guys, especially Keenan Allen. I would not have taken there, but took, like he's saying, Reed, Watson, or Godwin. I would have been way more comfortable over Allen. I'm fading on him on this year, but I mean, he could be a precision receiver. So he is older, but he could get the job done. He just doesn't look fast anymore, and even he was never.
Well, and they're saying he put on 10 pounds, right? Like he's up to 220 now or something like that. Yeah,
and he's not even a fast guy. He's never been a fast guy. So, but it's just the injuries that I'm worried about with Warren and Brown here. But I'd like Trey Benson. I like Josh Downs, another guy with some injury. I don't mind the Flyer Ricky Pearsall at all. I know that Anthony's figuring this guy's going to stay here, but even if he does, I think that Ricky Pearsall as your 5th round, 5th wide receiver, if anything, a trade piece or just even a drop piece doesn't hurt you that much. Anyways, you never know. He could get some carries, or something could happen where there's an injury involved, and next
Debo will be hurt at some point. Miss a game.
That's what I'm saying. Because I know the Niners, they were running through running backs like crazy.
Hey, we play hard.
Now we
get hurt.
Wide receivers like crazy or something. You know what I mean? So I don't mind it as much. I just like the upside of the guy and the possibility that he could bring.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean,
I appreciate you saying that about a Niner.
I like the stack, like Anthony mentioned. The stack was really hard to accomplish. I was surprised you even got it in this draft. I was like, oh, that's what you don't see very often. But that's a good stack right there with the Andrews and Jackson. So we give you props where the props are due. So yeah, I think they're on the cusp. I think, like Anthony mentions, a couple tweaks here and there. Get you right up on the next one, right?
Dial her right in.
On to the
top
he said
Yeah, hold on. He says, I like unbiased opinions. It's all love, Rasta. You're the man. So appreciate that. See, again, no hard feelings. Nothing's ever personal, man. We're here just to give you kind of what our opinions, and again, they're opinions, and, you guys can take or not take some of the stuff we're saying, but hopefully we just help you at least acknowledge some of that. And if it helps you in your builds or, your player takes, then great. Or if it, you're just like, well, I don't agree with that at all. Then it, helps you, kind of double down on the side that you feel. So to me, it's just information we're sharing here, just seeing what we see. And, please tell me if you see something else too. Change my mind.
He said,
Kendall changed my mind on HN. So,
he didn't know
hey.
Warren was injured.
Oh yeah, see, always stay up to date. But he's just new to us. See, once he gets in here, he'll be giving injury updates, talking about these guys.
Or is that just
we'll get into that. Yeah, the season's. That's a lot of work, Frank. That's a lot of work. We're talking about it. Let's see if we can keep doing that.
Get you injuries and info way before anybody else knows. Let me tell you
that. We got Rafi in the house here, man. Some nice teams out here. The second. Oh well, mind you, Rafi the champ. So reigning champ in the house. What's up? Respect, champ. How you doing? Of this very tournament. Also earned his way back into the tournament week 2. Came up just short week 1. Made double semifinal rounds. Again, big time fan of the show. Talks to us all the time. Part of the ambassador team. Like he knows what we like. So he knows how to get in here and do this thing. So he's out here scoping out the competition as well. So you drafters that are in here, man, look at this is what these guys are doing. Out here scouting mock drafts, guys. They're scouting mock drafts to beat you guys. So that's why we say if you're just getting into this, like we're taking you to a whole nother level here, man. This is iron sharpens iron in here in the Get Right community, man. So hit that subscribe button. Tell people about us. If you think they can hang with the Get Right community, come in here and tell them to get some. Let's go. It's time to roll those sleeves up, guys. All right, let's go.
So Rafi's saying it would have gone Pollard over Warren as well. And George Teese mentioned that he heard today Warren's injury is not as bad as first suspected, but they tend to linger.
Yeah, that's what they said about Cooper Kupp right before he re-injured it again.
Yeah,
and then was all out for the first
Ravens was actually shocked that I made it to the 4th. I'll hang on my hat on that placement in the League of Winners. It was really fun. Thanks, guys. It was
let's go.
And there was a ton of good teams in this draft. And yes. Difficult to score. Difficult to
Sharks, man.
Be objective.
Everyone had points. Like everyone had points. That's how you know it's good. Like, although the number 1 team kind of did run away with it, which we'll get into here in a second, but it was real close after everybody else. Everybody else is real close there. So let's get into it, man. Where are we at? Are we top 3 yet, or are we
top 3? Bottom of top 3.
All right, so here it goes.
Bring in one of our guys who was before, and then Anthony mentioned about changing the names, like
one of the OGs,
Lou Champ. So this guy used to be named Lord of Fantasy. Now he's Lord of Fanta. He even changed the logo up for us. Thank you so much. We appreciate the love. He is here and the 3rd place guy. So welcome to the finals here, Lord of Fanta. He comes
Congratulations.
in at the 11th spot. Anthony, what you tell us what his team's looking like?
Yeah, man. So appreciate you again, Lord of Fanta. Again, one of my favorite stories about starting this channel. Again, in sleepers, as you see, sometimes the names get cut off. Some people purposely know how many they can get to, so they kind of keep it at that. But when Lord of Fantasy came in with us, all we saw was Lord of Fantasy. So that's what we kept calling him. We found out later it was actually supposed to be Lord of Fantasy. He then just changed his name to Lord of Fanta and kind of rolled with it. And he's been one of the Get Writers ever since. So we appreciate it, man. Again, this guy's been with us since, he was like within 100 subscribers. I want to say like he was within our first 100, man. So yeah, he's been with us a long time. So appreciate him. So again, he goes Garrett Wilson out of the 11th spot here. Goes Marvin Harrison. So double taps the wide receiver. And then just doubles down on 2 more with DJ Moore and Rashee Rice.
Let's just get some more wide receivers.
Yeah, let's just some and some more. I'm all down for that. So then he goes Aaron Jones and still gets David Montgomery as his RB2. I actually think Dave Montgomery's more the RB1 and Jones maybe is more RB2.
Yeah, right. We could switch those.
Right.
I'd agree with that for sure.
I can kind of do that and get with that program. And then he goes kind of that bottom elite tight end, so to speak, with Pitts. Gets him at a great value here in the 7th. Then he goes 2 more running backs, Javonte Williams and Tajay Spears. Obviously spent a lot of capital up top, so he's trying to make up for it here in the middle. You don't necessarily need to spend that middle draft capital when you've spent so much at that position there. Still gets a nice QB here in Jordan Love. Takes another flyer on RB5 and J.K. Dobbins. Grabs Wicks for that kind of backdoor stack with Love, and then kind of ends it off with the stack with Rodgers to Wilson at the very top. So that tells me he was thinking what he was doing when he's matching the top and then the bottom to the middle bottom. Like everything was going good in this draft that I like. I think he was actually my 4th place team. So not quite 3. I was like right there. It was like right there. So with your guys' help, it bumped him up into 3. So good job there, Lord of Fanta. But Frank, go ahead and tell us what you think of his team.
He was my 3rd place team on there. He's
okay. You're calling it. You're 2 for 2 tonight.
I'm telling you. And the build is incredible. Like you're saying, he was thinking about what he was doing, especially taking Dotavian Wicks after Jordan Love, like another pick later, and then sneakily reaching in for Aaron Rodgers to stack up with Garrett Wilson there, his very first pick that nobody probably even seen coming. Now he heads up with a little double stack in there. You gotta love that. This good build. I mean, he just sticks to his guns, gets his top wide receivers out of the way. I like where he got Rashee Rice in the 4th.
Up in the 4th, man. We were talking about this, right? Like he's getting to that 2-3 turn. I'm telling you, he'll be there.
He's moving up fast. So get him while you can. As soon as basically the news is out that he's not going to get suspended this year, that nothing's going to happen to him. He's just been skyrocketing to where he should have been.
Yeah, from the 7th and 8th, you were able to get him before.
Yeah, early. Yeah, and I got him in a couple of best ball leagues and things like that. So I got him late. So I was able to get some nice stacks with him as well with Mahomes. So I was pretty happy about that. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers, as you mentioned, David Montgomery, I would switch those guys' spots as far as how I feel that they're starting at. But I'm very comfortable with those. As you mentioned, Kyle Pitts, the bottom tier of the top tight ends, I figured to be. I think he would have been above Kittle and Ingram here as far as upside that he has in the opportunity right now. So you got him a really good deal right there. Again, Jamal Williams and Tajay Spears. Let's see what happens in Denver. But this guy could be the starter, Javonte Williams here. And Tajay, we like him. And Tully Pollard over there, I think we could take, I like him over Pollard. Personally here, just nice build. I mean, I had him here. Congrats. You made it in.
We'll see you Friday.
See you Friday. Be drafting for the
do it again here. When it counts, when it matters.
Yeah. You just got one more draft to
I mean, this kind of matters, but you gotta do it again, man. Next Friday. That's when you want to do it. So there we go, man.
So Rocky over here says I'm coming in around around Aaron Jones. He should be healthy and close to dump offs, and if he could be WR2 and no Hawk and pending Addison's health. So he's basically referring to the quarterback situation, everybody else over there. I just want to see him be healthy. He's had some pretty rough injuries, so you kind of want to see him on the field.
For sure. Raven saying congrats to all the winners in here.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yep. No, you're good. Tycoon
coming on that wagon.
There we go. Tresner shouting out Lord of Fanta. Everyone saying congrats. And sleeping on Pollard. Everybody sleeping on Pollard according to Tresner. So yeah. So where else we got? So we're on to the number 2 team here.
Number 2. Drum roll, please. What are we thinking here? Out of this board, I think it's one of my nice picks as well. Did I even grade him on
frequent flyer?
Oh yeah, he's my number 1 guy. This guy
let's go, Frank.
So I was off by 1 on this one, and this is Vince Mapstone here. So he's been drafting with us a couple times already. I've seen him coming in there, and he ends up, taking
punches his ticket.
Spot. Yeah, punches.
Congratulations.
He's on the train. He's on this train here. I'll read it off for you. You can give us his insights on him.
Yeah.
He went in the 7th spot here. Vince did with Justin Jefferson, Chris Olave, and again punches his ticket again with Brandon Ayuk and Stephon Diggs. There's a theme here between Lord of Fanta and this guy right here. Literally four wide receivers right off the bat, and this is the consensus of 6 guys. So it's not just
I didn't even notice that until you just said it. Yeah. Like the 2 and 3 team were 4 wide receivers out of the game.
They're like mirrors of each other. I noticed that in this draft. So is Thanos and down in the hole. Look at their teams, the double hero RBs, and I thought Thanos was better personally, but
Interesting. That's weird. All right.
Anyway, so he gets his first running back in James Cook over there in Buffalo's. Awesome pick there. He's got to have a great opportunity. Gets Dalton Kincaid, basically an offset stack. I'm not sure if you even consider that stack. I guess you need to have a quarterback to have a stack, or what? Or just be on the same team.
For what? What are you talking about? Oh, just a wide receiver tight end stack. Yeah,
this is a running back tight end.
It's just or a running back, tight end. It's just like correlation. It kind of you're just betting
good offenses is not a bad idea.
Yeah, you're betting a chunk of the roulette wheel.
Exactly.
Bet a chunk.
You
guys don't know about that.
CJ Stroud here, which is a stack with Stephon Diggs. Does get that one going. We got Devin Singletary and Brian Robinson, who Anthony and I are both high on. Josh Palmer over here in the Chargers, who might be the incumbent at number 1 over there. Who knows?
Herbert back to practice today.
Yeah,
little news nugget there.
Great opportunity over there for him to break out this season. Chuba Hubbard, I think I like the rookie better, but he's definitely going to start because the rookie's down. And then we got Jerry Jeudy over here in Cleveland, and then finishes off with one of the guys in Chicago, Khalil Herbert. Hopefully gets some time in as well, because those guys seem to be dropping like flies as well. I think just the build, how he starts with 4 wide receivers, everybody kind of likes that whole mentality. Let's go with those wide receivers early and often right now. Good RB1 and James Cook backs up with the Singletary and Robinson and Chuba Hubbard. We like his tight ends, and Dalton Kincaid, another top tight end, should be breaking out this year. And CJ Stroud, we all seen what he did last year. Expect even more from him this year with the stack with Diggs. Again, I think he was my number 1 guy, so I really like this whole setup, the players he got, the opportunities. Other than maybe Hubbard, he was still 6 for me. So
yeah, it doesn't really make sense because he has a lot of guys there that would play week 1. Like, that's not really the guy to take. I'm sure. Like, what sucks is he kind of probably got sniped by Uno Goss and Ravens show
right before,
for Corum and Benson, because like those 2 guys would have fit that build a lot better. But I probably would have went Ty Chandler there, or like Jaleel McLaughlin, just because you want someone that maybe has some upside later in the year, while Cook, Singletary, and B-Rob are pretty much going to hold you down in a nice rotation. You want to get that 4th guy to where he could potentially hit and be something, and package him with something and trade that off and upgrade a starting position, or that RB3 or something like that. So, maybe buy in on a player who gets injured, that's out for a couple weeks, for someone who needs someone that's been showing promise. That's my kind of move 101. Did it last year, won me a championship. Although it could have backfired, because I picked up this guy named Puka Nacua or something, and ended up trading him for some guy named Justin Jefferson, just straight up when he went down. And then Kirk Cousins got hurt right after that, and I was like, oh God. But he came back and balled out, so it was worth it. So brought home the championship. But yeah, that could have got messed up. But again, those are the kind of risks I'm willing to take. Like, I'm willing to take a guy I got off the waiver wire. I don't care what he's producing at. If I get him off the waiver wire and I can trade him for literally the number 1 pick last year, like, you can't literally get any better than that. From someone who was undrafted to someone who was drafted very first in the draft, you can't get any better value than that. So I'm all for moves like that. Interestingly enough, this was actually my 5th place team. I just wanted to go on that pick a little bit. And then again, because of that,
he's my number 1 team.
Yeah, he's number 1 for you. Right. Yeah, both of these 4 wide receiver out of the gate builds for me. I love them in best ball, but in redraft, that's why they were like, I still have an affinity for it and I could see it. It's a little worrisome for me in a managed league. I just think you need those running backs a little bit more. Like, going true 0 RB. Right? Like, I still want that nice running back there. Again, Vince does it nice with Cook. I just don't like the stack there, right? With Cook and Kincaid, like you mentioned. And then again, that Hubbard pick, I'm not as good on, big on Jeudy. I'll kind of take him in best ball just to kind of see what happens. But like, I'd rather take, a rookie down here. Maybe someone like Gabe Davis or Xavier Legette, Jermaine Burton, like somebody who's more like a lotto ticket type guy. I mean, I guess you could say Jerry Jeudy's kind of a lotto guy, but I don't think he has the name value. Like, if he just has 2 or 3 games, people aren't going to be like, oh, Jerry Jeudy's breaking out. Like, you're going to need him to play for like 8 games, and then you might get a round or 2 better value for him. You know what I mean? Like that's just a player you're going to plan on keeping the entire year. And I think it's really important in a redraft league to identify players, especially at the end of your draft, that you're either, this is a guy like a Brandon Cooks that I can put this guy in and he's going to probably score me points and I'm going to be okay with it. He's not going to go crazy, but he's also probably not going to give me a 0, but he might give me a 0 if I were to start him for 14 games, right? Like he might give me a 0, 1 out of 14 or pretty close to it. But for the most part, he's going to get you 7, 8 points, maybe kind of crack double digits here and there. Again, if he keeps up with those touchdowns, but like you're not really going to be able to sell him for anything because he doesn't really have any of that name value, that sex appeal. Like that's somebody you're keeping on your team for the whole year, or you're going to have to drop at some point and give that value to somebody else, right? So like you have to think about that. I like drafting lotto tickets more later because those are guys that I'm not really planning on using in my lineup. I just want them to increase value, package them with something off the waiver wire, and boom, now I upgraded to starter. Like that's what I'm looking to do in a managed league. So again, we're going to guide you through all this roster management, or as I like to call it, Rasta management. You're getting a little insight right now. I'm getting excited to help you guys finagle these things throughout the year, man. So these are the things you want. And that's why I say it's so important to understand, how you want to draft, man, because you want to draft to set yourself up for success later. And don't just waste picks at the end. Like, don't just go, oh, if he doesn't work, I drop him. Like, if he doesn't work, I drop him. But take somebody that has that high upside potentially, or at least a significant increase in value to become a starter that you can package. So anyway, I digress.
You might find the next guy that, next Puka Nakua by doing a pick like that.
For sure. So where are we at now? So again, congratulations, Vince. It was coming already. We kind of saw this path for him the way he was drafting. And so finally punches a ticket. We'll see you Friday, August 30th. So now we're on to the number one team, man.
Number one guy. With no further ado here, you said you wanted to talk about total points that he received, or what were you mentioning earlier?
Yeah, man. So I'll go ahead and take this one. So what I was trying to say is this number one place team, man, kind of ran away with it. Has one of the highest scores so far in the tournament. I think only JWN, who's already in the finale, got a higher score than this. And interestingly enough, which is funny, he scored first place on 4 of the 6 judges' scorecards. First place. One guy had him as his 5th place team, and some other guy, maybe on this stream that's not me, because he was first place for me, didn't have this guy even on his top 6 when 4 of his constituents had him as the number one team. So, we went with the majority on this one. So I'll go ahead and read off the team, Frank, and I want to hear you tell us why, since you put me on the spot with with Ravens. I'm going to put you on spot with our number one place guy, but at least he still made it to the finale. So whatever you say to him isn't going to be bad because he still got number one.
Yeah,
so,
he got it in there. He got it.
Yeah, he got number one. So it's almost like a toss up for you. All right, so our boy here, coming out here, doing the thing. Interestingly enough, this guy actually got in. He was one of the replacements for the mock last week, I think on Wednesday, because the guy who wasn't there, he didn't show up. He literally came back right before I hit start and said, "Oh, I'm here. Wanted to get in it. I talked to this guy on a DM, was like, hey, I hate to ask you, man, but like these guys have been like, a lot of these people sign up like days in advance to get in these mocks. So for him to be like 1 minute short, I felt like real bad for him. So I was like, hey bro, like, do you mind? I'll get you in the one tomorrow. Do you mind giving him his spot back? So he did. And it worked out for the best. Things happen to people, I guess. We didn't plan it this way, but because I'm the only one who even knows it. Like Frank's hearing this for the very first time. So he ends up giving up his seat to somebody else. That guy didn't even advance. The person that would have been in that spot didn't advance last week. He comes back, advances to Friday, and now gets number one. And we're going to see him after just his second draft with Get Right Fantasy in the mock draft tournament of champions finale. And that's Mr. Adam C. 1883 in the 4 spot.
Nice.
Here we go, man. So he goes with a 3 wide, not a 4 wide receiver build, but a 3 wide receiver build from the 4 spot.
For the number one spot here. Let me give it over the read here. So
go ahead.
He takes a CD Lamb number 1. So getting CD in the 4 spot It's great value, I think. Comes back with Jalen Waddle and Cooper Kupp, so he gets his top 3 wide receivers there. Comes back with Ken Walker and James Conner as his 2 running backs. Just punches his ticket again with Christian Watson, who I like. You like his quite a lot, Anthony, as well as Raheem Mostert here in Miami. So he's still not done yet. I think he's still.
He's flexing from the chat. He's here with us.
DeAndre Hopkins as well here, a little bit older here. So we got some of the vets here in the team. Taking Chase Brown that both Anthony and I are high on. I'm still just equally with Zach Moss as well there. He does get the stack with Dak here late and CeeDee Lamb and Dak. Let's hope CeeDee does sign his contract and he plays the full season. Then he takes Pat Freiermuth as his tight end. Runs it back with Jalen Wright over here in Miami. So if something happens in Miami with Devon Achane, he's got the rest of the backfield over there in Miami.
And he's looked good in preseason. So, and they like using him around the goal line, which might even be almost a little more scary for Raheem Mostert. So we'll see what happens there.
And he finishes off with a flyer on Jermaine Burton, who's a guy I drafted in my Dynasty League. So, he's got good upside there. Let's see what happens with him over there in Cincinnati. He could have some opportunities. I'm not going to nitpick the team as much as say that there's a lot of other good teams on here as well.
That's okay. I see how you did that.
And that's why he didn't make my cut, because I was having a hard time trying to decide who I liked. There's my number 1 team in Thanos 5 didn't even get mentioned. He was a double hero build, just like down in the hole. And I personally think Thanos 5 is a better double hero RB build than
there you go
down in the hole. Although I do like down in the hole name there here. But I mean, I also didn't want to seem like a homer and just taking, hey, this guy got the Cowboy stack and Lamb and give you the
kind of looking at it through a different set of goggles.
And also, I try to be objective and just let's just not like fall in love with the team because those are my guys. You know what I mean? He did get Watson, another guy that I'm really high on. I just didn't care for the right pick and Mostert. I don't. We were just talking about that with Elliott and Dowdle here. These guys are just like taking, 2 running backs on the same team. I'm not a fan of that. Because you're ended with one guy really at the end of the day. Pat Freiermuth, I'm getting lower on him. Just seeing the coaching staff and what's going on with him and how he's been used over here in the preseason game. Hopefully, get straightened out in the season. I was kind of high on him last week, but after this last preseason game, I'm like, ooh, things are looking rough over there.
Don't watch, Frank. Just stay with your rankings, man. Just hold tight. And the only thing that should worry you about Pat Freiermuth is a trade of Ayuk to the Pittsburgh. If that doesn't happen, Freiermuth to the moon.
I would love that. I would love that. Let's go, Ayuk. Let's move over here to Pittsburgh. But I don't think it's actually going to.
He just wants to break up the Niners. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to help his fantasy value anyways. But yeah, I mean, Anthony will tell you why he loves the team. I didn't think it was a bad team. I'm not saying that at all. I guess think that there was a lot of good teams on this draft, and it's hard to say, oh, this is the one I did. Hey, you guys. I think
you're more
like them the best.
Yeah, you're more in line with Tresnor's stake. He drafted the all grandpa team.
Right? Yeah.
So there we go.
Miami. There's 3 guys in Miami. I totally forgot about Waddle.
Right. Before I give my take, Wicked said, "Brother has given us free gyms." That's that Rasta love. So when I was talking about all that, when I kind of geeked out earlier, but yeah, man. So let's see. Ravens is saying he's starting to think he has a good feel for what we like. So there we go. Oh, and you see Thanos giving you the love for calling out his team there, man. So there you go. So just showing the chat some love here real quick. Yeah. So he's and this is why, man, we get, I don't want to say like arguments, but we're just as passionate about you guys. So that's why it's funny when they go in the chat and I announce the top 6, they're just like, what? So-and-so's team should have been there. But I'm like, bro, I feel you guys. Cause like, I feel exactly what you're saying. Cause like, it doesn't match my list either.
Anthony and I were not even 2 guys. We were like,
not even for it. Yeah.
So
that happens, man. That happens. Yeah. But yeah, in other times like this, it worked out because my number 1 team ended up being the number 1 guy. And let me tell you why. I think Adam in here said it perfect. He thinks he understands how redraft works. So when redraft is around, like age to me is, I don't want to say out the window, but I'm not as worried about it as much, right? So when you come out with someone like Lamb, Waddle, Cup, Lamb's young, like trying to get his contract done. Waddle's still young. He's in his first contract. Cooper Cup, he's older, but dude's a triple crown, winner, MVP, super, not that far removed. You know, Ken Walker, younger, only 23 years old. And then, you get James Conner. He's a little older, but has that backfield basically to himself. Christian Watson's not old at all. Yeah, you got Raheem Mostert. He's on the elder statesman side, but good production there. You know, again, you could kind of say, okay, the Miami stack, right? You got all these guys from Miami, 3 guys. But again, if you're going to stack a team, stack one of the teams that has one of the most potent offenses and get the guys that are probably scoring the points in that offense, right? So I think he did that. Hopkins, again, I'm not really drafting him, but as your wide receiver 5, I'll take him as my wide receiver 5. Something really bad has to go wrong for him to have for you to need have it all on DeAndre Hopkins to win a championship, right? He's just a piece you could throw out there in the beginning. He's going to have a good games here and there. He's not the wide receiver 1 he used to be, but he's not totally done yet, is he? Right?
He's not.
So I think that's about the right spot for him. You know, maybe even a little later, but again, I don't hate it in this build. We already know I'm a Chase Brown fan. Dak Prescott gets the stack with CeeDee Lamb. I love how the top and bottom correlate. Been talking about that. Pat Fairmouth, again, very excited about him. And as long as Ayuk doesn't go there, but you know me, late tight end, he didn't invest too early, invested in him late, 3rd to last pick. You could take a penny, leave a penny with tight ends on the wire. Not really a fan of that this year, as I talked about, just because I think you're going against half the league who's going to have a decent tight end versus just one guy in the league, maybe 2 that'll have a decent tight end. So it wasn't as bad before. Now I want one of those guys so I compete with half the league. Yeah, that's why I like those tight end builds a little more this year. I'm going to spend a little up on them. And if I am getting a discount guy, I want it to be like Ferguson. You know, that's been one of our guys. Phil's talked about it on his show. And again, Fairmouth, I think, is one of these guys later you can get as well. And then Burton, again, big on. Again, Cincinnati stack. Again, top 5 projected offense. Again, don't like stacking wide receiver quarterback. But again, if you're going to do it on its offense. And these are guys who can also trade as well. So that's another reason why it is redraft. And you can trade these guys once you kind of see what's going on. You can package them up, you know, easily split up those stacks, package those 2 guys together, you know, maybe a Wright and a Chase Brown to get, you know, I don't know, a James Cook or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If those guys are producing, maybe James Cook hasn't still scored a touchdown, you know, by week 4, and maybe you can flip that and get someone like that if those guys are produced. You know what I'm saying? So again, I can kind of see where it was. I like the build. I think he did well. My number 1 team. And obviously 3 other of us agreed.
Other people
team. So
good
stuff
with that, man.
That's good stuff. Good stuff.
Honorable mentions out here.
There you go.
The moon.
I'm not
sure, man. I'm not so sure anymore. I was on the bandwagon for a week, and I'm like, nah. I'm still like what you mentioned earlier, Anthony. I'm happier with a higher top end tight end early on than versus just waiting for these guys to play the waiver wire. If that's your thing and you like to do that, by all means, there's nothing wrong with that. And many people win that way. I just like a more steady Eddie, solid build, and more comfortable in taking a higher tight end than most.
Yeah, and I'm there with you usually, but when I feel like you're that top, you're going to make up that difference with that starting lineup. So I'd rather see him than Goddard or Komet. You know, I think he literally waited as late as he could.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, it happens. I had to do the same thing with Ravens and whoever else it was that I didn't have on my top 6. So it sucks when you have to do that.
No, for real. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for watching. Let's get you. I mean, hey, you're number 1 guy. So let's see if you can hold the spot down, take the win. You guys got, you got to go up against a Rafi bomb in here. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of these guys are.
I was going to say he called out. He said the champ is here, and maybe he was just talking to Rafi because Rafi was here a little while before him. So maybe that's who he was talking about.
You got to dethrone the champ in order to become the champ. Just remember.
Right. There it is. Good stuff. Good stuff.
So,
all right. So what else we got?
We got another draft coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, man. So we have this third. There's only 3 more drafts left to make these last 3 spots. So again, congratulations to the top 3. Week 4, the limit is removed, so that's why it's so hard to get in this, and that's why they're full. Because we had guys when had their notifications on, were either in my ear asking for the mock lobbies because I love how people are just all on it, want it. The guys who have those notifications on, when I drop those lobbies, man, a lot of those guys gotten all 4 of them right away. So the ones who advance tonight, they'll drop out tomorrow. So make sure you guys keep your eyes on those lobbies. I usually somewhere between I know I have a meeting tomorrow at 1:00. So it'll probably, because I have to wait for Frank. Unfortunately, guys, Frank takes a little while to get on his lunch. He takes a little later lunch. And so I get his rankings then. Sometimes it's me. I'm not going to put it always on Frank, but sometimes it is me with my work. But there he is. He's in on Wednesday. There you go. So yeah, it's hard to get a spot, but once you're in, those guys are going to fall off. So if you kind of check somewhere in the afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern, somewhere around there, guys might be dropping out. I do have a wait list of people who've already let me know. So anyone who's done that, I just send the invites to your DMs. Whoever checks it first and gets in first come, first serve. And just, if you probably DM me most recently and it's closer to the top, I'm probably going to send it to you first just because it makes it easy because it's right there on top. So squeaky wheel gets the grease, as they say. Otherwise, again, they always get posted. They're always live right now in the Get Right Sleeper channel. So just kind of keep an eye on them, check on them on times, and you never know, there might be a spot opened up. Someone has something come up, has to drop out. Go ahead and claim your spot. So, other than that, man.
So then may say, hey, oh yeah, guys, my draft is on Saturday. Keep your league. Ross said, wait till Monday to tell you guys.
Yeah. Remember we were talking about it. Remember he had those keepers, and remember when he first came in, his very first question for us. So he dropped it in the sleeper channel. We all talked about it. So I
nice.
can't wait to see how it actually turns out, man.
Right?
Yeah. I feel we're invested now. We're with you on this one, man, throughout the year. So we're gonna ride this thing home to a championship.
We got to do one read real quick to just get to pay the bills here with
there you
Fantasy. Our guys here at Underdog is the best place, easiest place to pay fantasy sports from their best ball draft tournaments, in which you draft a team with no season time long commitment, no waivers, no trades, no weekly lineups. And this is where Anthony pays 42nd out of 70,000 plus. She turns $4 into $400. So right now they have a new deposit just started today. You do a 50% deposit match, but instead of just going up to $250 bonus, you can now receive up to $1,000 in cash bonus. So any deposit exceeding $2,000 would be capped at $1,000 in the bonus cash. So you deposit $1,000, you get $1,000. Basically, you got to look at that. And they also have a new customer special for now, the new customer free pick. So they got a free pick for you as well. So go in there, sign up with our promo code GetRight, get up to $1,000 in bonus cash, and claim your free pick. All right, guys.
Let's go.
They also got the recurring week 1 discounts here. There we go, Ann. Thanks.
I got you.
And they're live now, so you choose NFL week 1 discounts for several NFL weeks. Every week they're going to have a new discount. We got a pick 'em lobby for each prior week, and use it or lose it. So basically, you got to get in there, make your picks, and take advantage of what they're offering. So make sure you capitalize on them each week when you have a chance. This week's discounts are on screen display here as well. And then we also got NFL Season 1 picks reminder. If you're just about a month left to make your NFL season long picks on their lineup, basically. What do they call that, Anthony? I lost my train of thought. But anyways, it's just week long. Added to
just the season long stats.
The
pick 'em lobby. Yeah, there you go.
Lobby is what I'm trying to get at for the season long ones. So yeah, you got to check them out. So yeah, this is what Underdog Fantasy has. They are they're sponsors of us. We draft on there. Maybe we'll do another one on Wednesday, right before this whole season kicks off, because we got a real draft happening on Thursday. So we're gonna get in there on the best ball draft on Wednesday. So come check us out again. And support us with a Get Right, promo code when you do sign up with them.
For sure. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So Raven Show said he was in the mock tonight. Can he reveal his team? He dropped it in there. I haven't looked at it yet.
This is how he did.
So we'll see. We'll see what it is, but he's up there.
Hold on. Let's check it out real quick. 1 second.
I was gonna say we'll check it out. We'll get there. Yeah, we'll get there. I thought he said he went Lamar. I could have swore I thought he went Burrow. But that's all right. We'll see. Yeah, I could have swore he said he had Burrow, but that's okay. But yeah, so anyway, other than that, man, of course, trophysmack.com. Make sure you guys go use promo code over there. Get your trophies in now. While you guys are setting up your leagues for as little as only $7, you can have a ring added that the winner can keep every year. So instead of having like a belt or trophy you can pass around, kind of gets hard on shipping sometimes. Maybe the guy doesn't get it on time. This one at the end of the year, boom, put it. It comes right away. You can customize it just like that. Put your logo on there, team name, the winner's team name, all that good stuff. And they're heavy, they're nice, they're good products over at trophysmack.com. So make sure you guys use that promo code Get Right. Of course, they have their belts and their trophies and stuff like their Kirk Cousins chains as well too. Again, all fully customizable for your guys' leagues and team names. So again, it's a lot of fun, a little something extra to play for in addition to whatever else you play for. So we'll leave it at that, man. Other than that, let's see. Got you 420 told me it's just a reminder that I'm on the clock in the guillotine league right now. So Frank,
you're on the clock. Yeah,
I am on the clock right now. So Frank's in this league. Do you want me to talk through my pick right here on the live, or are you ready to just shut this thing down?
I thought it was paused. Can you make a pick while you're
Yeah,
paused?
you could still make picks while it's paused. It's just there's no clock
Aren't
going.
making picks then? What's going on?
They are. It's been paused for like 2 hours, and it made it to me. Like when I last checked, I think it was on Victorious. No, I think it was still
420. That's 420 is the last one.
Yeah, so he just made his pick, Jalen Warren. So here, let me I'll bring it up on the screen here for you guys. So can you guys see that here? So we're going after hours now. Appreciate you guys. Anyone who wants to log off now, you can. We're just going to go into our personal Get Right fantasy football guillotine league. It's the first guillotine league of Get Right. A lot of guys in here playing for the first time. So yeah,
first time in the guillotine league.
Yeah, Frank's first time. I've only played a couple times. We had an awesome logo. So we're doing this. Should be a lot of fun. Got some viewers in here mixed in with, we got guys from our home league. We got guys from Dynasty Pylon. We got Phil in here from
there's 18 guys in here. There's 18 team leagues.
Yeah,
so
18 different people in here. So we got a lot of people in here. So it's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm on the clock. I'm on the turn right now, as you guys can see. I still need, so far, my team's looking like Josh Allen, David Montgomery, Raheem Mostert, Mike Evans, Christian Watson. It's only 2 wide receiver, full PPR. Then I grabbed Kyle Pitts. So now I'm still looking for starters, guillotine league. I just, someone like Jonathan Brooks, who's on the top of the ADP right now, is not going to help me. So I'm not going to pick someone like that. So right now I'm looking for someone who can give me points week 1. And this part of the draft is basically like round 10 or 11 almost. Like in a regular 12-person draft is where we're kind of at right now.
Yeah.
And we're still trying to plug in guys who are going to be relevant week 1. Not to mention like guys who are not even that aren't hurt, because you can't really take hurt guys either. So we're going to be starting some iffy guys, and there's going to be no bench. It's all going to be replaced in a guillotine league. That's how it works. So here we go. I was doing all that. So I'm probably looking at this point wide receiver. As you can see, I got my guy here, AD Mitchell, in the queue. He's my only guy in the queue right now. So I don't even have to overthink that. I just said if he's coming back, again, he may not be guaranteed points week 1. Is he going to make the field? I don't know. Are they going to throw him the ball? I don't know. I just want to have him here. And someone else.
Anthony he was talking about earlier. He even just mentioned to me, and I watched some things about guillotine leagues. You just got to win week 1 right now.
Yeah,
some of this stuff, especially these guys that are going to be coming back. There's a lot.
Yeah, your Nick Chubbs and.
Yeah, you don't need any of those guys right now. They'll be on the board, or you can just pick them up later. They're not going to help you week 1. If you got those guys for the long term and they're not starting on your lineup, you don't need them right now because they're just a detriment to your team. You need to have a good, good start. These guys and that's why I had reached down just to get even to started running back, or some guys semi-starting in Rico Dowdle.
And this is not guillotine ADP, so like you can't just go off of ADP. So it's interesting. Where I want to go here next. There's really no running backs that I feel are like guaranteed week 1 work. Maybe Algier, but that's even still up in the So running backs aren't looking good to me at all. Tyler Lockett might be good here early. Gabe Davis. Again, something like Brandon Cooks, like I was just talking about, you can kind of just put him in your lineup and he should get you points out of the gate. Man. Yeah, it's getting pretty bare bones down here, man.
Yeah, 18 guys will do that to you.
Yeah. Especially when you're looking for a starter, like in the 11th round. That's tough.
Yeah.
The man's league right here. 18 people is crazy. Rashad Bateman is interesting to me because I think he'll be the starter week 1. I don't think Devontae Walker's going to come out, but there is Andrews and Flowers. They're talking him up. Getting more reps in practice. Oh man, am I gonna pull the trigger on Rashad Bateman right here? This is crazy. I don't think I could do it over just Tyler Lockett. He should have a roll week 1. Yeah, I think I gotta take Tyler Lockett, man. All right, well there we go. Eddie Mitchell, Tyler Lockett. I don't know how excited that was, but there we go. So Joe says, don't snipe me. So I don't know if I did. Maybe I was about to, but then I did. So there we go. So I don't know who you wanted, but it's back on you, my guy. His first time too.
Okay, that's
his first time paying guillotine too.
So he's got your 420. It's on you. Oh,
Jerry
Judy.
Oh, so he went Jerry Judy. You already heard me talk about him earlier. So there we go. I don't know. I'm fine with my turn. I have my starting team now. Josh Allen, David Montgomery, Raheem Mostert, Mike Evans, Christian Watson, Kyle Pitts, Eddie Mitchell, and Tyler Lockett. Glad I only went with one rookie. Yeah. So now I got all my starters done. So I'm pretty much done. I can just grab bench right now and just hope these guys make it to week 1.
2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and 2 flex. And we got 4 bench spots, right? 5 bench spots.
5, yeah.
So what you want to do is, get your starting guys in your running backs, wide receivers, tight end, and then you can get 2 flex guys. So depending on how you drafting, that's what you're starting with.
Yeah, and you see that's how I did, man. I just went with the rainbow build because I wanted at least an elite guy in every position, or at least what I deemed elite. Maybe not elite, but you know what I mean. Like a guy I felt comfortable with in each position. Was able to still come back out and get, again, now you get into some question marks with Watson. Raheem Mostert, I still feel pretty confident about week 1. So I can worry about that later. Christian Watson could go either way if he makes it or not. And again, Eddie Mitchell could skyrocket in ADP between now and like week 1 or week 2. And then Lockett, I think, is just going to give me some points here. So we'll see. There's still some guys later, maybe like if Bateman makes it back, someone like that, I could still go with. But, we'll see what you can do. See. Best you can at the end of an 18-teamer. Exactly. Like I'm just trying to zag while everyone else is zigging and zagging. I'm trying to zeg. Over here at 18. This is crazy. So we'll see. I just don't want to be out first, man. Second week I'll be okay. I just don't want to have to run the whole league and be out week 1. That'd be the worst. So anyway. All right. So let's get out of here, man. Right. Frank, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming out tonight, man. Staying a little extra there, get those guillotine picks in. Little insight into what I'm thinking there, but nothing we haven't talked about offline already. So good stuff there. And man. That's perfect. Well said, Thanos. He says you don't have to be the fastest when you outrun the bear. You just can't be the slowest. It's a well put. That's all you're doing for guillotine.
All the time. I said I'm not the fastest guy.
Yeah,
but I can trip you on the way out.
Right? Like I'm not going to be here when that all happens. So there you go, man. Good stuff. And that's what I mean. And that's what's crazy for me because my just general mindset in fantasy football is if you're not first, you're last. So playing guillotine for me is like a literally complete mind reversal, which is why you'll never see me build a team like this normally. But again, I just feel like I have to go almost opposite everything I believe in a guillotine because I'm just trying to get out of the gate week 1. I'm not trying to win week 17 in the draft. So
it's fun to do these things though.
It's different
just
mindset, test you.
Different way of drafting, different everything that you throw the ADP out the window. That's all right.
It's a whole. Right. As I was gonna say, this ADP is not guillotine ADP. This is regular redraft ADP. This is not guillotine ADP.
Fishbowl. You have different strategies for that. You're doing that again. Throw that out the draft. You should have seen how far people were reaching. was like,
Oh, yeah.
wow, they're going for number 560 something. I was like, that dude wasn't even on. You had to scroll to get to that guy. So,
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the
Right.
Rashid Shaheed in the 4th round. Yeah, and Scott Fishbowl. Shout out Scott Fishbowl. Good stuff.
So
Good stuff.
Thanks for
All right,
watching,
man.
guys. Like
Yeah,
and
from all of us
subscribe.
here, like and subscribe. Like Frank said, man, hit that like and subscribe button for us. Tell your friends about us, man. Get them in here. Come be part of the community. Come hang out. Get in these mock drafts. We will be doing potentially the drawing for the Listener League on Friday. So if you're watching this and you want to be in the Listener League, just leave us a comment in the video, #Listener League, and I'll get you an entry if you've listened this far in the show. So other than that, man, from all of us over here at Get Right Fantasy, for Classic Mike, for Dustin, for my guy Frank right here, for Classic Mike, for Phil, for Tycoon, for Kendall, all of us here, man, we're going to help you through your championships this year. We appreciate you. We will see you Wednesday for another Best Ball Mania, possibly. Maybe we might do a puppy if they have a puppy out there. I don't know. We'll see what's going on. We'll see you here Wednesday, guys.
Hey, fuck it.
For sure. Let's get out of here. Let's cue it up. We're out.
Peace out.
Peace.
Right fantasy is the play. Marking nothing, but I tune in every Friday. Strategies provided, I will lock in every way. So go and roll your sleeves.